In Nigeria's political landscape, the North holds the ace in national elections. Hence, political gladiators from the region always hold on to this to make negotiations. In recognition of this, a former special advisor to the president on political matters, Hakim Baba Ahmed, emphasized that no candidate can secure the presidency without substantial support from the region. Baba Ahmed also warned against the continued marginalization of the North by the current administration. Meanwhile, a coalition is reportedly being formed to challenge President Bola Tinubu in the 2027 presidential election. The proposed alliance envisions Atiku Abubakar serving a single term as president, with Peter Obi as his running mate. Okay, two stories in one. Let's start from the first part. Looking at what Baba Ahmed said, over the weekend, is this to scare the president?
I don't know what the goal is, but I actually hate it when I hear elder statesmen, especially those who have been in public service, retreat into ethnic cocoons and give the impression that the North, for example, is being marginalized. How? Because he needs to explain how the North is marginalized. How? It has to be explained. Because is it that projects are not being cited in the North? Or do we see marginalization simply in terms of appointments here and there? As we speak today, the North has 27 ministers, which is higher than the South. Yes, we have 48 ministers in North.
Yes.
And the North has 27 of them. And some of those positions are key positions. Key positions. Defense, the two ministers of defense. True. Because he was talking about security, insecurity. Insecurity is a big problem in the North. And when a fellow Northerner like me was president, it even got worse. Yes, it got worse under the last president.
Exactly.
So you can't say, for example, that the inability to make the North secure or more secure than it is now is an act of marginalization. We can't keep talking in terms of appointments. Oh, this appointment, maybe somebody from the North didn't get it, and then you say, oh, the North is marginalized. It has to be much more than that. I mean, for God's sake, we have to move away from that. If key projects are not cited in the North, as a Northerner, I'll be really bothered. If you refuse to bring projects that will make life more meaningful for my people, as a Northerner, I'll be worried. I don't see it simply in terms of, oh, this is the person, they didn't give us a Minister of Finance, for example. But there are key ministers from the North already. The Minister of Budget, the two defense ministers, they are from the Northwest.
The NSA
is from the Northwest. The biggest problem, our people in the North, they are very enterprising. They are ready to work. They are ready. They are farmers. They don't even need government to help them. All that they need is for security to improve.
True.
The people in the IDPs, it is not their wish to remain in IDP camps. If there's better security, they would not want to be in IDP camps. They will fend for themselves. They have that honor. Elites in the North who always shout about appointments here and there, they do not benefit the ordinary people with the appointments. They did not help the ordinary people with the appointments that they get. Those appointments, they make sure that those appointments go to their children and their relations. This is a fact. I mean, we can have a debate here, in which we will bring the names of children of these people who are holding this particular position and that position. They don't care about the ordinary people. And when we talk about the North, Baba Ahmed says that no region, nobody can win without the North.
Exactly.
The North cannot win without the South. That's the way the Constitution is designed. Buhari tried, he contested a lot of times. He kept winning in his own area.
And
he will get 12 million from his area, yet he will be defeated roundly.
Yes.
Goodluck Jonathan won the election, presidential election in 2011 with an audacious landslide. Yet Buhari retained his usual key states of the North. It didn't stop him from losing. Look, it's not a question of, nobody can win without the North. Nobody can win without the South
as well.
And then when we talk about the North, what are we talking about? In our country, religion is far more potent now than even ethnicity. What are they talking about? Religion, now, as we speak. Religion is a big factor in the decisions that people make, political decisions that people make. Religion, not even ethnicity. People want to know first which religion.
Is he a Christian or Muslim?
Is he a Christian or Muslim? The ethnicity, is not so much of a problem. And today I can tell you there's no such thing as a monolithic North. No. When you talk about the North, North Central is part of the North.
True.
Are you telling me that the North Central and the Northwest, they always vote in the same way? No. Where did you hear that from? Let me tell you, in 1983 and 1979, Shagari, the candidate of the NPN from the North, relied heavily on votes from what we now know as South-South.
Okay.
Yes. The old Cross River, you know, it got votes, tremendous votes from there. It did not rely solely on votes from, because even in the North, the votes were divided. GMPP, Waziri Ibrahim, dominated the Northeast. So Shagari needed votes from the South-South. Today, it's always been like that. And you see people like Wires emerge as any president as a way of compensating that region for the support. So they shouldn't be giving us the faith. You see, a lot has changed about political behavior in our country. When you say, oh, the North will determine this, the North will, you can speak about your own part of the North. Look at Kaduna, for example. I'll give this example. Kaduna, we have the Southern Kaduna and the other parts, the Central and they usually do not vote in the same way. In fact, Rufai was so frustrated at a point that he said, look, even if we make the Pope a candidate, they will still not vote for us. So when you vote for APC, the Christian Southern Kaduna, they will go and vote for PDP. It's always been like that. So when you talk about the North, we need to make it clear to people. The North, the Christian part of the North, voter behavior may not necessarily align with the Muslim-dominated part. So in that case, it is clear that the North is not one. The North is not one. And even in the past, we had Taka and others came up with Middle Belt. The North is not one. And in any election, you will see voter behavior indicating clearly that the North is not one. I disagree with some of what he said. Frankly, the conversation should be more about what are our governors doing in northern Nigeria. I come from northern Nigeria. There's no way that a Baba Ahmed will want to give the feeling that he's more northern than me. Even if he said that, I will tell him that no, you are not making sense. I am a northerner. I grew up, raised in the north. you do not have a greater stake in the North than me. Even if you profess that, I disagree. So these issues are clear to us.
Okay.
Less people in today's Nigeria, people shouldn't be bringing all of that, because we can argue all day to say, no, you are not right.
All right. Adekunle, in your opinion, now Dr. Hakeem Baba Ahmed, he is the spokesperson of the Northern Elders Forum. Do you think he speaks for the whole of the North? With his position?
No, he's not speaking for the North. How can he speak for the North?
He doesn't even speak for his...
No, how can he speak for the North?
It's a town.
See,
he doesn't speak for Zaria alone, even Zaria.
Politics of 40, 50 years ago is not politics of today. Yes, we've covered politics for a long time. If you want to talk about the North and you need votes today, it's not the Baba Ahmed you go to.
No,
it's the governors. It's the governors.
And political leaders.
You get what I'm saying? It's the governors. And through the governors, you get to the political leaders.
Absolutely.
Not those who just operate on the basis of ethnic and religious. They just cut relevance through that. And it doesn't work anymore. See, if he says nobody can win without the North, I agree with him.
Okay.
But tell him, the North alone cannot be, the Northern votes alone cannot make anyone president.
The president, yes.
Obasanjo won without the Southwest.
But he accused
because he got the North and the Southeast and others.
South.
Good Lord Jonathan. You get what I'm saying? You see, the last election, what happened? If it is about to hurt the interests of President Tinubu, believe me, he's wrong. He's not, or if he wants to do that, he's doing it the wrong way. This president is in a better standing today than he was 2023. Quote me. There are you thought there are PDP. By the time we enter the next election, many PDP governors will just wear that is it Babariga or whatever they wear.
All right. Because of our time, let's look at the other part of the conversation.
That's where I'm coming from. In the southeast, in the south.
Hold on. Because of the coalition plot for Atiku and for one term, Peter Obi as his vice president. But talk to me, because does this make political sense?
On what party basis? On what party?
Does it make political sense to you?
In which party?
You see, the thing is, Atiku's best chance is to emerge from PDP. But will he emerge? Will he? I've been saying this for almost 2 years now. Will he emerge? With the marking days of this world? The weekends. The Bala Mohammed. Bala Mohammed is the second longest serving minister of FCT. And he believes that he has everything to become a president as well. You think he will sit there and simply allow Atiku to emerge as if PDP was created for Atiku? Do you know how many times he has been their standard bearer without winning an election? You think they will just be watching? So, on which platform will he be presidential candidate?
Except they go to SDP.
That's not a political party.
If he goes to SDP, who goes to SDP with him? Since the coalition and all of that, since they started talking, how many people have
moved with him?
Moved en masse into...
Where is the structure?
You don't win election. I've heard people say, oh, the next election will be between the Nigerian people and the president. You cannot win an election in Nigeria without structures and the political decision makers. It's not like a case of, if you don't have structures, you just walk straight to go and vote. The organization has to be potent. Otherwise, you go into an election, you don't even have an agent. Some of the parties didn't have agents in some of the polling centers.
Yes, in the last election.
And you want to win. If you don't have an agent, your interest is compromised already.
Absolutely.
The structures help you to win an election. The structures, you need the structures. The ordinary people would work for political leaders that they had trusted over the years. Our politics is just like that. Political leaders that they trust, they tell them, this is the right decision to make, this is the place to go. People will listen. You go, and it's not in Nigeria alone, that even in Pakistan, people follow political leaders. So, elections are decided largely by where those political leaders stand. Not simply ordinary people on their own just going to vote.
On social media, what they say.
Because that will not give you the organization that even enables you to follow the vote to the terminal point. We don't have so much time to explain some of this, but to say, oh, it's going to be. No, people, the decision makers, people who rally around them and say, okay, we trust you. Wherever you say we should go, that's where we are going.
Now, they said,
in the last
is there just one term for Atiku?
I beg, there is nothing in that, please.
All of them will seek to be presidential candidates.
There's nothing.
They will not agree to one another to say, okay, you go and contest, I will not say. And if Peter Obi steps down from being a presidential candidate
to a vice
some
president.
of his supporters even believe that he won the election, to now become deputy to someone, let us see if he will get that kind of vote.
You think it will ruin his image or his standing, his political standing?
In the last election, despite all the noises around obedient movement, it was only in the North Central that Obi got 1.6. He failed woefully throughout the North. There was nowhere in the North where I got maybe up to 200,000.
No, in fact, in short,
apart from the North,
he didn't win any state that is dominated by Muslim. If you see any state that I won,
only in the North
Christian majority.
So that's why you talk about religion playing more than ethnicity.
Of course. In our politics today, religion is the king.
So, in other words, that coalition, Atiku as first,
let's just leave them.
Just want is dead on arrival.
I'm yet to see any coalition beyond the noises.
They are still planning. They are still planning.
But is the power sharing ready to go back to the North?
How?
Because they've done it. North has done 8 years already. Now it's in the South. Now, if it's given to Atiku,
I hate to discuss about power spending. For what I see so far,
yes,
this president is in a better standing politically than he was in the last election. Far, far, far easier for him today than it was in the last presidential election. You need to take a look at what is on the ground. Where is PDP?
Okay.
Where is PDP? Where is the PDP? Where is the Labour Party?
They can solve their problem.
All right then. But anyway, just before we go.